welcome to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Council. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event. We do it every single month. It's free. It's open to the public. It's right here at the Community Center on Arosa Boulevard. We provide coffee in Danish, courtesy of Steamworks Coffee right there on US 1. It is a small business, a brick and mortar business. So you too can join Michael over there at Steamworks. We appreciate him so very much. And we like to support small business. Yes, we do. And speaking of small business, please welcome our sponsor for this month, our very first time. It's her very first time sponsoring any chamber event. And she's a little bit new. I mean, she's been in the chamber for a little bit now. And I'm excited because I'm familiar with the place and love the place, and I'm sure some of you are as well, some of our audience. Please welcome Carol Archibald, the marketing specialist for OK Corral Gun Club.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Welcome, Carol.
Nice.
I know. How many of you have heard of the OK Corral Gun Club? Oh, there we go. So we've got some enthusiasts in the audience. I love it. Okay, so let's talk everything about the OK Corral Gun Club, because it has grown since I've been here 20-something years. And I remember it started off a little bit small, but you have the gamut of offerings now. So tell us what you got out there.
We're really a shooting sports destination. We have 356 acres right now. In fact, we offer golf carts to get around. This is kind of a far walk, but we have any kind of shooting that you would want: clay shooting, skeet and trap. We have a competition park where we hold USPSA competitions quite a regular basis, a pistol range, a rifle range. So basically any kind of shooting, wobble deck, any kind of 5-stand, any kind of shooting that you want. But also, the owner built the place as a Western town replica. So you see it's all reclaimed wood. We have authentic carriages. We have a general store. In fact, our cabins are in a U shape around the general store because you can actually stay the night there.
Yep.
We have 3 vacation homes. They look like ranch houses. 2 of them have private pools.
Oh, wow.
And pickleball courts, just to mix it up a little bit.
All right, now you're speaking my language, right?
And a full-service restaurant where you can dine, have lunch, come in, go shooting, cool off, go back out, stay the night, come back again. So it's really a destination.
It really is.
Yeah.
And how long has it been like that? Because I remember it wasn't quite that built out when I first moved here.
Yeah, I see he's added on over the years, but I would say the last 8 years has really been over 300 acres.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. So honestly, the golf carts and all that stuff is all, you can't ask for anything more. It's
all
a great,
inclusive.
Yeah, and the ability to spend the night.
Yes.
The saloon, all that stuff.
All that stuff. We have event venues too. We have quite a few rehearsal dinners and birthday parties and a lot of charity shoots, like Ronald McDonald, Treasure Coast Hospice, Jupiter Medical Center, Rollerson Hospital. I'm thinking of all the medical ones, of course, for some reason, but plenty of charity shoots to raise money for cancer and just fun shoots too. And this time of year, we're really, really busy with holiday parties. So even if somebody has a group of, 8 people we had yesterday, they were able to go clay shooting and then come in and eat at the restaurant and have it, a wonderful experience for their holiday party. So.
And do you have an off season?
Yes, we do in the summer.
In the summer?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking it might be a great fundraiser for us, but we probably want to do it in the off season.
June or July, yeah.
Okay.
Is our off season. You might get a good deal at that time.
Perfect.
Don't hold me to it.
All right. And so how do they book with you?
Okay, so you just visit our website. It's okcorralgunclub.com and go to events, and you can see all of our facilities. And then there's a little form that you fill out, and you tell us how many people. Would you like to have a meal? Would you like to stay overnight? Would you like shooting as a part of it? And then we have a manager that will get back to you ASAP on that.
Yeah, because you don't have to shoot. You can do other stuff.
You can have a meal or a party, yes.
Yeah, you can play pickleball. You can spend the night in the kind of, replica town, and there's all kinds of things.
It's an immersive Western experience is what it is. Great memories for people.
Very amazing. I love it. Well, I want to thank you for being our sponsor today and bringing the OK Corral to St. Lucie County, because you're out there in Okeechobee. Sometimes people, don't
Forget
realize how close. And you can get there from South County in about 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 20 miles, like I said, 20 miles east of the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So off the turnpike, you take Okeechobee Road, it's 26 miles. If you come 95, you'd have to take Midway out to the fairgrounds and turn left on Okeechobee, and then that's 20 miles. So it's really not. And it's not like driving on 95 or the turnpike where you take your life in your hands. It's very nice drive, very secluded, but it's still a 4-lane road with a median, so that's good.
Yeah, it's really not a bad drive
Not
at
at
all.
all.
They've expanded out there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
We
Thank
appreciate you. We do.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with our council representative this month. And of course, it is Councilman David Pickett. Welcome back to Coffee at the Port St. Lucie Council. I'm Teresa Aronson, and I'm joined by our council representative. It is Councilman David Pickett.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Good morning. I just want to thank you for being our representative and telling everybody at home that you can come down and join us in our live audience, and we'll feed you. We'll give you some of the best coffee around from Steamworks, courtesy of Steamworks on US 1. And then you'll miss the preamble that everybody here in the audience enjoyed, which is our life stories.
My life story.
Your life story, a little bit of my life story that nobody else gets to hear because we don't record that portion.
Well, it's nice to see that the times that I've been here before, we've had, especially in December. December seems like a month where everybody's got so much going
Low
on.
attendance, yeah.
And there's very, very few people here, and it's nice to see the room filled up with quite a few people. So
Yeah,
thank
a
you
lot
all
of
for
friendly
coming.
faces. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. I like it.
So how is life in the school board?
It's good. I've had 2 meetings, 2 whole meetings.
2 whole meetings. So let me ask you this question.
I've already gotten involved in legislation.
There you go. Okay. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that in a minute. I got something. That's one of the things I have to talk about. But when once the election was over and you got sworn in, and you went and set up on the dais the first time, what was the first thought that went through your mind?
I've been in a million meetings, but not one that is so publicly viewed. Well, actually, I mean, these are very publicly viewed, right?
Right.
But they're not, so critically viewed.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Because somebody asked me, and I said, yeah, I'm very nervous. I mean, I do TV shows all the time, but people are very critical of meetings from a dais,
Right.
I think. And so I was still very, very nervous.
I asked that question because I know when I got sworn in and I went up to the dais the first time, I'd been in the chamber, but I had never been up on the dais. And when you go up there, it's a whole different view looking at the room. It's one thing to sit in the audience and look up, but when you're up there and all eyes are on you, you're like, oh,
Yeah. It is, and I'm on a lot of sunshine boards, and I do some talk shows, right? And I'm getting filmed all the time, but I don't have a good poker face. Like you can literally hear my eyes roll when people say things, and so I was like, oh, I gotta pull it together and try not to do that so much. But
I'm guilty of the same thing.
it's difficult, right?
It is. It really is.
When people say eye rolling, instigating things.
For me, it's not the eye rolling. It's the sour look on my face when, the scowl or whatever.
Yeah.
And a couple of people said something to me a couple of times about that. Like, you can't do that up there.
Yeah,
I'm human. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, people can say whatever they want, during public comment, and it doesn't have to be true.
Right.
It can be outrageous. It could be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you can't respond. You just have to sit there and be like, thank you for your comments. Thanks for coming. And you can say nothing and do nothing. Yeah.
That's the fun part of it.
It's so fun. And you're not supposed to roll your eyes either.
No, and you're not supposed to have a scowl on your face either. So.
No. Even though you're concerned for their children.
Well, you listen, but sometimes, like you said, you can get up there during public to be heard, and you can say pretty much whatever you want. And it's your 3 minutes, or I don't know what the school board, 3 or?
It's 3.
Yeah,
it's
we,
3.
we do 3, so it's your
And
3
you are
minutes.
not allowed to respond.
No.
So they can say whatever they want. You're not allowed to respond.
Yeah.
It's tough. You want to call the authorities and have them go check on them, right? But you can't respond. So yeah, it's fun.
So you're involved in the Florida League of Cities legislation?
No, that's Pat. But there was some legislation that some priorities for the school board that I kind of got involved in.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
So
because we have our own legislative priorities for the Chamber of Commerce, and our delegation is going up April 1st through the 4th. Hopefully, you'll go with us. I know you work, so it's tough.
Well, I'm going to this year during Florida League of Cities delegation. We have 3 meetings, and I'm on the mobility committee. And one thing that the Florida League of Cities is going to push this year is a gas tax for electric vehicles, because electric vehicles do not pay a gas tax, and we're losing a lot of money for people that have electric vehicles because they're not paying that gas tax. And I did a quick thing here. 38.6 cents of every dollar spent goes to the state in gas tax. And if you buy 30 gallons of gas a week, that's $590 a year that we're not getting a gas tax. So when we proposed, I say we because it was a committee decision, proposed to approach the legislators about going and trying to recoup some of those lost revenue. We had put an initial dollar figure on it, and then the final, what's going forward to the legislators is it does not have a dollar figure attached to it. It's just we're going to allow them to work out the formula and figure out what that dollar figure is, because we had initially said $200, and that was after the second meeting. I come back, and we had a meeting at the TPO, and we talked about it, and I did some calculations. I'm like, that's not enough money. We're losing money. And if we put a dollar figure on it and approach the legislators and ask for $200 and then come back and find out, 6 months later, we're not getting enough money, it's kind of hard to go back and ask for more money. So we just left that open, and they can figure out the formula and if they enact it. So hopefully, we'll get a sponsor for it. And be able to pick it up so we can recoup some of the money, because that money goes into play you see it around town. We use that money for Floresta Phase 2.
And you don't have a sponsor for it yet in the House?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I actually just sat down yesterday and signed the letters. My assistant put the letters together and sent letters to both senators and both House representatives. And the mayor had her talk yesterday with the delegation and talked about Port St. Lucie's what initiatives Port St. Lucie was trying to get money sponsored for this year, and the gas tax is one of them that she talked about. And so I had specifically asked the mayor if I could champion that, because I wanted to make sure that I seen that through. So
very good.
But yeah, the Floresta project. We use half-cent sales tax on that.
Yep.
We also use some of the state gas tax revenue on that. And, with the cost of everything going up, for example, Floresta, the whole project for Floresta, the whole widening of Floresta total was like $32 or $34 million.
Oh, wow.
That was for the whole thing initially. Just phase 1 come in over that.
I'm sure.
Because
everything went up.
Everything went up.
Yeah.
So it's important that we recoup those revenues, and it's also important that the half-cent sales tax we keep that half-cent sales tax, because that's money that we use for infrastructure projects around the city.
Did we sunset the
Not yet.
half-cent sales
Not
tax?
yet.
Well, I mean, when we voted it in, we sunset it, though,
has a
right? 10
sunset
years.
clause.
Yeah, I thought we did. And when is the 10 years up?
In
2026.
Yeah, 2
oh, so
years.
it's going to have to go back out.
Yeah, it has to go back out to be voted on again.
Okay. So we'll be gearing up for that.
But the nice thing about the half-cent sales tax is you're able to see the fruits of that.
Yeah, sure.
Around town, because the city, and that's the one thing that I always comment on, very positive about the city when they use that money and it's all accounted for. You can go to the cityofpsl.com, go to their landing page, and the half-cent sales tax program is there, and it shows everything that we've spent that money on and everything that we're going to spend that money on. Plus, when you drive around town, you see
The signs.
that says this project was funded by your half-cent sales tax. Now, as a taxpayer, I am very happy to see that, because that's your tax money, or our tax money, that you see is actually going for a
And
project.
it's sales tax. It's not property tax.
Right.
Remember that. So everybody's
Everybody
paying
pays it.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
which is good.
yeah.
People from out of town, everybody pays that.
If you buy anything in Port St. Lucie County, or Port St. Lucie, yeah, you're
St.
paying.
Lucie County.
Yeah, St.
Yeah.
Lucie County. So.
Yeah. So that was countywide. So we'll probably, hopefully, we worked on that. The chamber, spearheaded that through our PAC when we went out for a referendum on that, and I hopefully will do that again. Good. Streetlight program?
Streetlight program. That's a lot of people think that we don't want streetlights. We want you to have streetlights.
I don't want streetlights. I always talk about that.
Well, I didn't want them in my neighborhood either, because I had just spent.
I live on the water. I need more mosquitoes like I need a
Yeah,
hole in my
exactly.
head. Yeah. So no, I don't want streetlights.
But I had just put uplighting in my yard around my house, and a guy come around. This is before I got in office, and wanted me to sign a petition. And I said, "What's it for?" And he said, "For streetlights." And I said, "Yeah, I said, buddy, I really don't want streetlights." "Why not?" I said, "Look, I just put these lights in, and I said, I know my luck. They're going to put a light right outside my house, and drowned out my lights." Sure enough, when the street light went up, there's the light right outside my house.
Yep.
But that's been like 8-10 years ago. But they are nice for the neighborhood.
I mean, they make sense in areas, right? I don't begrudge you your streetlights. I don't oppose all streetlights. I just don't want one in front of my house, because I have a retention pond in the front, I have a canal in the back, and I have a drainage ditch on the side, and I have mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah, well, I live on the canal too, so it's same for me. But
Yeah.
luckily, mosquito control comes down and they spray, and that helps keep some of the mosquitoes at bay. But
My neighbor put up a ton of lights, and now they all, congregate over there, and I'm very happy.
But if you do want street lights, call our Public Works, and we'll help you get started on the process, because it's something that it has to be initiated by you,
Yeah.
and it's a two-part process. What you do the initial, you go up and down your street, and you get people to sign a petition. You 50% of the people in your neighborhood, 50% of the property owners. That's what. It's not just because you live in the neighborhood. You have to be a property owner. You have to own the property, and you sign the petition, turn it back in. They vet those, and then after that, you've met that criteria. Then they send you back out again to get 75% of the property owners on the street. Once you do that, comes before the city council, and since I've been on council, we've never said no to anybody with streetlights.
Yeah. And I may lose that battle someday. I mean, I might get outvoted, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. January events. Well, we're in January, right? We're going to be.
This
showing it,
is January. You're all aware of that, right?
So they got, let's see, Mid-Florida. Mid-Florida, if you go to their website, there's constantly something going on in Mid-Florida. They're programming at Mid-Florida Event Center. They're programmed for like 330 days a year. Some events going on over there. But the big event in January for Mid-Florida is the Seafood Festival. If you've never been to the Seafood Festival, it's a really good time. It has some pretty nice vendors there, and usually they have some pretty good bands that play there. Parks and Rec's going to have a bonfire at McCarty Ranch. If you've never been to that, that's pretty fun.
I like McCarty Ranch. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's nice to go out there, because it's nice to go out there and see, if you've never experienced Old Florida, or that's the perfect way to see what this area was before it started getting built up.
Yeah. And they're going to have the road that goes through. I think Becker's going to go through soon.
Well, Becker, if I'm not mistaken, Becker has soft open, correct? Yeah, it's open now.
What does soft open mean? I have to
Well,
go
we
through
never-
quietly? I don't understand what that means.
We haven't really advertised it.
But you can go
but
through.
you
If I
can-
get in my
you can
car,
get
I
to-
can drive through.
Yes.
Just
yes.
don't tell the others.
No. It was one of those things where there was an issue with some irrigation out there,
Okay.
and they wanted to get that taken care of, so they had one of the lanes blocked, and it was just one lane through like a mile of the
Okay.
of Becker Road, so it was open, but it wasn't really advertised that it was open, but it is open now, so
Yeah.
you can get from 95 to Range Line Road without driving all the way to Midway Road and coming back up through
Or
Glades
Martin
Cutoff.
County.
Or Martin County,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, very good.
And last but not least, at Mid Florida, starting in February, is the concert series.
Nice.
Got 4 concerts coming up. February 22nd, Better Than Ezra. March 29th, Cameron Marlowe. April 5th, Rock Show, Buck Cherry. And April 11th, Cooper Allen.
I only know who 2 of them are.
Which 2?
I don't want to say.
Better Than Ezra.
I don't want to date myself or expose my taste in music. But one of them I wanted to see in concert and bought tickets, but then I found out you had to stand, and I thought, I'm too old to stand. If I go to a concert, I need to sit down like a person of my age should. So I didn't end up going. I bought the tickets and didn't go in.
See, that's where we think differently, because if I go to a show, I want to stand up.
No, I am
Yes.
too old to stand up.
If I want to sit down, I'm staying at home. That's me.
No,
And we just had a show.
I don't have that kind of stamina.
We just had a show there for December 7th. We had the Christmas lights show, and the group that was there was a tribute band. And I was standing on the side of the stage, and one thing that I commented to a couple people was, usually at the shows that we have, people are sitting down and
Yeah.
listening to the music, which is fine and dandy. But for me, going to concerts and festivals and stuff like that, I'm used to standing up, so I want to stand up. And the shows that we have, predominantly everybody sits down, which is,
Because they're older,
I'm in the same age group. I
but
get it.
they're older. I'm just saying. These are not, mosh pit bands. It's like Styx and Little River Band. You're not, standing for those. These
But-
are sitting down concerts.
The show that we just had, December 7th, as I was standing on the side of the stage, I looked out in the audience, and predominantly everybody in the audience was standing up. They were dancing. They were having a good time. And I commented, I said, that's a concert. Those people are enjoying themselves. And that's, to me, that's getting the most of the concert experience. I mean, not to say that you can't get it sitting in your chair. You can clap your hands and have a good time. But I would rather stand up and
Well, it was a small venue in down south, and so I knew it was going to be packed and it was going to be tight. And it was. I'm too old. I know my limits. And the bathroom was probably going to be crowded. It was just too much. So yeah, I tapped out. But yeah.
So other than that, that's pretty much all I have.
That's
this
it?
month. Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to think of we have our Business and Industry Awards coming up in February at the Mid-Florida Event Center. It's huge. We have 400 people are going to be there. We have like 10 different food vendors. You're going to walk around and get a taste from all of them.
Nice.
It's a really well-attended event, so I do hope people will come to that. It's worth the price of admission. You get to vote for your best vendor, and we have People's Choice Awards. It's really a great evening.
Kind of like the chili cook-off, where you go around and taste all the chili and vote
yeah.
for the.
Yeah, but it's not just chili. It's like all kinds of food. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
If you've never been to the chili cook-off, I would suggest to go, because there's some really, really good chili that's made over there. I think the Boys and Girls Club is the one that hosts at the
Met Stadium.
At the Met Stadium.
Yep, it's a
And
fundraiser
there's
for them.
some now. If you're like me, make sure you take some Tums, because some of that chili is really, really hot. But they have some really, really good recipes. So I would highly recommend it.
It is. They do a great job. And it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
It's always themed, though. I mean, you got to put a lot into it. You have to pay to be there, and then you have to put a lot into it. And I did it one time, and I realized I was up against some pros, and it was like they put a lot into it. And I think the fire department wins every year.
Fire department, they place up there pretty much every year, yeah.
I feel like the deck is stacked against me, just saying. But that's okay. It's for a good cause. So I don't know if we're good.
I'm good.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Michael, of course, from Steamworks, and I want to thank OK Corral. Remember to head out to Okeechobee to OK Corral and experience what they have to offer, because it's definitely worth it. And thank you to Councilman Pickett for joining us today, and
Thank you for having me.
all of you for coming on down. All right. Thank you to the staff here too. So.